walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Welcome to the AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal. And alongside me, I have my tag team partner, the Glamazon Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hey guys, happy Monday. Hope you guys set your clocks correctly, because it was daylight savings time last night. It's been a tiresome Monday, but I had a monster, so I don't usually drink it, but hopefully it wires me up for the stream tonight.
Before we get started, let's go ahead and say hi to people we got in chat. We have Arrington, we have Brandy, we got Entertained as well. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Today we'll be talking about Elimination Chamber 2020, the final stop on the road to WrestleMania. And before I get your takes on it, what I thought was, when I saw the card, I know I messaged you earlier saying like, oh man, I have no interest in like any of these matches except for maybe like a few, and I told you which ones I like had interest in. But like, this was quite the lackluster card in my opinion, especially for the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. Usually this is where you're getting the final steps of the storyline and stuff, but I guess a lot of it happened on Raw and SmackDown, as well as on, oh god, what the hell is that? Crown Jewel or Super Showdown, whatever it's called. I always confuse all of them. So you had a lot of like build up on those things as well. But I did put out an interesting tweet that no one answered, and maybe someone in the chat can answer now. I don't know if Joe's around either. Maybe Joe might know too. But this is like the first pay-per-view, and I don't know how long, that there was no major WWE Championship match to appear. I mean, championship belt to appear, meaning no Universal title, no SmackDown title. I don't know whatever they're called. The Brock title, the Goldberg title, the Becky title, and the Bayley title. I know Becky appeared for like the last segment, which is gonna be on TV, but I mean like actually in the ring or anything like that. There was no. Is that the first time in I don't know how long that's happened where none of the titles really appeared in the ring? I don't know if you know the answer to Alicia, but what did you think about the card overall?
Well, to answer that real quick, yeah, I don't think so. But then again, someone is gonna correct us at some point. Be like, well, there was that one time in 2012. Yeah, but you're right. Like you said, there wasn't even the presence of um a because I don't was there even a number one contenders match for. Oh wait, well those are actually they're kind of already set up. So I guess they didn't really need any matches for that last night because that WrestleMania title card for the main titles was already set. Right. Yeah. So I guess they felt the need like that we'll just use the live TV shows to kind of to build those back up and not and let the other titles get their shine on last night and set those number one contenderships up to again prepare for the next was it 3 weeks 4 weeks for WrestleMania. Overall, yeah, like you said, like on paper, you're just like, oh, this this is I guess this is okay. But it turns out some of these matches turned out pretty well and some of them did fall by the wayside. But all in all, I didn't mind this pay-per-view. It wasn't like it wasn't a drag the whole time, which those pay-per-views are the ones I don't like. Like I feel like every once in a while you are gonna get a match that's like a lull in any pay-per-view, but all in all, it was good. Like I don't know if it's because that company over, so maybe that kind of like made it better for me as well. But I didn't mind it too much. Wasn't my favorite for sure, but then again, we're only what 2 pay-per-views in, so it's still early in the year to get some really. Well, no, I'm just talking about as far as like 2020. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, there isn't. Yeah, because they took out Fastlane for the Saudi Arabia show, so they they preempt. I mean, it's not like Fastlane was a riveting pay per view in the first place, but so
Wow, I was on mute that whole time. You could hear me through Discord, but they couldn't hear me that. Sorry, guys. I was just saying, I don't know when I went on mute, but I was just saying that, like, I was asking about Bailey, and I thought this pay-per-view was lackluster. We didn't have Fastlane because now we have the Saudi show, like Delisha said. But thank you for that entertain. I forgot that I muted myself to vacuum my table. Um, but yeah, so we do have, like you said, we have 4 weeks to go until WrestleMania. So we can, there's a lot of time to build up matches and stuff like that. And I mean, the card is pretty much set, but WrestleMania is like 17 hours long, so you need like 72 matches to cover that. So they're gonna have time to build up the rest of the matches, such as a Bailey, who's gonna face Bailey, and maybe we'll have some thoughts on that coming up. But with that said, let's go into our first match of the evening, which is the pre-show match. I didn't really watch it. I was watching the background and stuff like that. But it was the Viking Raiders who don't have the championships. I don't think they're not. I don't. It's just an old picture they put up on the website against Hawkins and Ryder. I have no idea why this match happened.
there was no setup. There,
No, okay,
it was just it was for the pre-show.
Pre-show, yeah, okay. So I probably would have rather seen like an interview with one of the champions in the pre-show or something like that. But I don't know. Basically, Hawkins Ryder double team one of those guys. I don't really know their names. It's Eric and Ivar, I think. They double teamed one of the pretty much the entire match, and then they went for the Rough Rider, I think it's called, Zack Ryder's finisher. But the guy threw him over and hit it on Kurt Hawkins, and then they did their finisher. The Viking Raiders did their finisher on, I think it was on Ryder, and they got the win. It was pretty lackluster. There could have been so many other matches, I guess. I don't know why they put them out, especially because the Viking Raiders showed up later on the pay-per-view, which Delisha will get to. What was the point of having this match? I'm sure there could have been another match of people that we want to see on the card. Some names escape me now, but like I'll probably think of it like later in the pay-per-view, and I'll just later in the evening, and I'll just shout out names. And Delicia's like, "Why are you shouting out names?" And those are like the people I'll be thinking of, like who should have appeared on the pay-per-view. Like Rey Mysterio, unless he's hurt. I don't watch SmackDown Raw, so I don't know if people got hurt or not. But or I watched them in Fast Forward, I should say. But like Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, all those people, and I think Samoa Joe just got the wellness policy thing as well, so he can't appear. But there's so many other people that we always talk about that they don't get time. So, and I always say we should have a brand split pay-per-views so that we get more time for the smaller names. But we don't even it's gonna make more of a job for us to do more pay-per-views to cover. But here, I guess maybe the smaller names are being covered because we're getting Ryder and Hawkins, if you guys care about those people. But maybe they should have gone against somebody else, like the Singh brothers or some. I don't even know who, but not the Viking Raiders, because the Viking Raiders were gonna appear later on in the show. I don't know. Your thoughts on this match at all? Anything?
It was whatever. Like, because again, when the music hit, I was like, why do we have this match? Because I was like, I watched Raw. I don't think nothing happened between these two. But it is what it is for them to get paid that day. So kudos to them for earning their paycheck. I didn't really care about this match. That's all I had to say. It was just to get them on TV. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's go to the main card.
All right.
I mean, that's what I was saying, sitting on my couch. I know, but
and
also
usually we usually get one or two matches usually on that pre-show.
I think it was this was just
this
one.
one, yeah.
Or maybe they're.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe they're gonna save the two matches for the longer pay-per-views and then stick to the one for the B-side. I don't know.
Yeah. Or I also thought maybe they had some dark matches or something. I don't know. Who knows? But when I first saw the card, because this wasn't announced until the actual pre-show, I thought the Drew Gulak match against Daniel Bryan would be the pre-show match, but didn't turn out to be. It ended up being the first match of the evening. So Daniel Bryan against hometown boy Drew Gulak, who shares that with Delisha.
Yes. Yeah. Luckily, they didn't focus on the pre-show because it was a pretty darn good match. Because they're both pretty similar in terms of like styles. They can. I know Drew Gulak had the whole no top rope thing going on for a while he was in 205, but he's certainly capable of doing so. But they're both known for their technical styles and submissions, and that's what they showcase here from start of the bell to the end of the bell. I think people might have thought this might be a quick match between Daniel Bryan and Gulak because, again, there wasn't a lot of preemptive storyline for the match. Or I did miss SmackDown last Friday, guys, so it might have played out there. But so I apologize if that was misinformation. But it still wasn't like anything leading up to it on a long-term basis over the last few weeks in between the pay-per-view shows. But again, like Daniel Bryan and Gulak were just going at it. I know there was a lot of times where I think it was one, there was like a German suplex that Gulak did, or everybody was like, "Oh my god, watch out for the neck!" But there was a lot of tweets about that. But I do think Gulak is one of those ones who are probably fairly good at protecting people in the ring. And again, much like I know Daniel has always been anxious to always get back money before he came back, but I'm pretty sure he is certain other precautions he does have to take. But again, like this match was just like grade A, super technical and submission wrestling, and we did get Daniel Bryan with the submission at the end, if I'm correct, right? Because there was a submission, not a count out. And I was trying to find out because I made a joke about it last night with my friend who was over. I don't think Drew Gulak has won a live show or a pay-per-view when they were in Philly, and that's just kind of sad. Because usually they maybe not against Dan Bryan, but a lot of times they'll let the hometown guy win. But at the very least, if he's not going to win, he did showcase some pretty good talent, and the crowd was behind this match. But Philly's a good wrestling town, so they know good wrestling when they see it. So it's not a surprise that they were behind the beloved Daniel Bryan and the hometown Gulak.
I think they're gonna have a lot of hometown victories come WrestleMania because I think Roman Reigns is most likely gonna win because Goldberg. I don't see I don't see Goldberg holding the title. I don't mind Brock as a part timer holding the title because he's more of a heel kind of thing. But you saw people didn't really like. I know you don't really watch the Saudi shows, but they really were like not behind Goldberg. They were booing him and all that when he won. So
There's no don't really about it. I don't watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now they're having women's matches, so I don't know if you change your tune to that kind of thing.
We'll see.
So, and like Macaulay Culkin, I know was reported that he returned his WrestleMania tickets because the Fiend lost at Super Showdown and stuff like that. But as for this match, yeah, I think a lot of hometown people are going to win at WrestleMania in Florida because they have Orlando people. We have Jacksonville, Pensacola, all those people. So I think we're going to have a lot of hometown people win WrestleMania. That's why Drew Gulak did not win. But yeah, it was a good match. And like you said, like the that one suplex, high angle German suplex or back body drop, high angle back body drop was pretty gruesome. And for a second there, I was like, oh, did he get injured? Did Daniel Bryan get injured? Because me and Daniel Bryan. Yeah, but he didn't, unfortunately. So, yeah, that was pretty. It's like a pretty good match, though. It was a good match, and I think the reason why they had the match, I don't, as you guys know, I don't watch that stuff, but they did say that Drew Gulak said, like, I know all your weaknesses. I could like beat you. Welcome, assassin, and he's like, I know all your weaknesses, and Daniel Bryan's like, well, if you do know all my weaknesses, why don't you face me at Elimination Chamber? And that's what they had the match. All right. After that was the U.S. title match, Andrade and against defending title against Humberto Carrillo. And this is you again. You're on mute.
Was pulling the cow there, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, these two have been going back and forth a couple of weeks. Even maybe feel like months. Going back and forth, but this time it's going to be for the title, and a lot of those wins against Carrillo have been by interference of some sort, whether it be from Zelina or what's his name, Garza. But yeah, to be honest, I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about this match because I was like, guys, we've done this like 12 times already. What new things can you show us? And while they didn't show us anything new, they did put on a fairly good match. They do, like, these two really have good chemistry again, when you're working with each other for a very long time, you get to that in-ring chemistry that you're going to be able to put on a good match, probably in their sleep by now. I guess the biggest spots from this match was Andrade trying to go for his old like the hammerlock DDT back onto the concrete there by pulling up the mats as he did a few months ago. That took Carrillo action for a little bit, but Carrillo was able to flip him out of that. And after that, it was just back and forth with like pinning combinations and double knees for Andrade trying to get the win. But it took Andrade to get the roll up on the tights to actually retain the title. And actually, he actually won beyond that slightly clean. There wasn't really any interference from Zelina besides just like being in Carrillo's face on the outside, not exactly getting off apron, distracting the ref and things like that. And I guess also another good spot, even though we've kind of seen it before, is the ref trying to corral Andrade from outside the ring and Carrillo doing I think might have been a sunset flip over the top rope over the ref to hit Andrade. But yeah, it was really par for the course for these two, and again, good match, but it's just stuff we've seen before. And now with the roll with tights, I'm like, are we going to keep doing this again? I don't know, because they have a habit of doing this a lot, where people have a good match, and then we'll keep seeing it and seeing it and seeing it again until eventually the crowd just like, I'm tired of it, and then they make it seem like it's the wrestler's fault for not having the crowd on their side, and really you just overbooked them too much. So I kind of want to see like a little chill on this, maybe a little bit, or at least something refreshing with this feud, because otherwise Andrade needs to just move on to his next opponent for U.S. title contention. But did you like this match?
Yeah, I always like Andrade. I was telling you that. If you can you mute your Discord notifications? I think it just keeps going off.
I have tried, and I because I don't know which one it is that's going off. Can I mute them all?
I don't know. It'll be
All
under
right,
your
I'll try.
settings
I'll try
maybe.
that while I mute it.
Um, and yeah, to for Assassin, the first match the Viking Raiders won. The second match, Daniel Bryan won, and Andrade won this match. So now you're caught up. Yeah, I like Andrade. I was telling you, I think I was texting you that before. I really like them, and Carrillo's awesome. He's awesome. I love high flyers, and we'll get to that in the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. But yeah, I love high flyers. I love luchadors, kind of like that kind of stuff. So this was great to see. I think where we can go from here. You're asking, can this happen again? Maybe have a ladder match, but a fatal 4-way ladder match at WrestleMania between these two, and you throw in Angel Garza and Rey Mysterio, and then you have your fatal 4-way ladder match. That would be kind of cool for the U.S. title. Maybe see Carrillo walk away with it, or Rey Mysterio walk away with it. The next match is for your SmackDown Tag Team Championships, featuring the champions Miz and Morrison defending against the New Day, Lucha Dragons, Heavy Machinery, the Usos, and Ziggler and Rude. As you guys know, if you watch the things, SmackDown and stuff like that, I didn't end up watching this last match because I think it was the main event. It was actually the whole end of SmackDown. It was Ziggler and Rude ended up winning the SmackDown that gave them the chance to enter the Elimination Chamber last. So they weren't going to be the first ones or any of the first 5 in. They were the last ones in. So the people who started the match out were the Usos and New Day, and they kind of just went back and forth. They didn't really go too hard yet. I think the next team that entered was the Lucha Dragons. I want to say, I wasn't sure if it was them or Heavy Machinery, but I'm pretty sure it was the Lucha Dragons. And this is where the match got extremely sloppy when they first came in, when Lucha Dragons first came in, because they're a very high flying team and such. So maybe Heavy Machinery was in first. I'm not even sure, but somebody was in. I believe she can correct me. I don't know. She's off camera and off mic possibly, but I'm not sure if it was Lucha Dragons or Heavy Machinery that came in first. But whenever Lucha Dragons came in, they got really sloppy because they were doing a lot of high flying moves and they were just like missing and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was Lucha Dragons that came in first. But after a while, then they started getting clean with their high flying maneuvers and such. And then Heavy Machinery came in and started cleaning house. And you wanted a lot of the fans were behind Heavy Machinery because they wanted to see Otis go off on Ziggler. Would that happen? We'll talk about that in a second. I think then after that, Morrison and Miz came in, so we had 5 teams in. The one huge spot was when I think it was, oh God, I don't know which one it was. I'm not sure if it was Grand Metalik or Lince Dorado. He went to the top of the Elimination Chamber, kind of like the monkey bars, and flipped back and did a not sunset flip. What do you call it? Shooting star press onto the rest of the group. Then I think the Lucha Dragons were eliminated after that. And then I think Ziggler and Rude came in, and then the New Day was eliminated, and then the Usos were eliminated. And then another good spot was when Tucker, I think his name is, did a sunset flip off the top of the chamber onto the rest of the group. While that was happening, Otis ran through the chamber, through the outside of the chamber, for the first time we've ever seen that in history of the matches. And then Tucker was pinned after that. That left the I think Kofi was still in the match, and so the Usos. I think Tucker and them went out first, but then New Day, and then the Usos were eliminated. It came down to Miz and Morrison against Ziggler and Rude. No, sorry, Ziggler and Rude were eliminated. Then it came down to Miz and Morrison against the Usos. I think at the end, was it the Usos? Possibly the Usos at the end. Whoever it was at the end, it was a great. They did really. Miz and Morrison did really good double team moves. Like I really like that. Miz looked really good and really sharp in the ring. He had stiff moves as well. There was a great move where he went underneath one of the Usos, I guess it was, and rolled him up while Morrison did a flip over the top, and that's how they did the pin. Another cool thing was Miz put one of the Usos into the sharp, figure 4 leg lock, while Morrison did the shooting Starship Pain. It was really cool double team moves by these guys, and I'm glad to see they're still champions. They ended up retaining the championship titles. and all that. So it was really cool. They're going to go into WrestleMania holding it. I don't know who they will face. Heavy Machinery had a lot of momentum going into this match. I don't know if it'll be cut off. Maybe they'll have a match against Heavy Machinery and Rude and Ziggler. Winner of that will go on to face the Miz and Morrison. So I'm guessing it's going to be Heavy Machinery against Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania possibly. Because I don't want to see the New Days or Uso get another shot. Kind of want to see fresh matches. So I guess we'll see with that. But it was a really good match. One of the best matches of the night, I think, because of all the cool moves that they did. And they really put out all stops for this. Delisha, your thoughts?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Sorry. Technical difficulties on my end. Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I'm still thinking about it, but it might have been one of my favorites because of all the little mini stories that were like going on the inside. Because you had Heavy Machinery with Rude and Ziggler with that storyline going on. You had Miz and Morrison with kind of like the New Day Uso together, based on the comments that they were saying about them. I believe last week. And then you had just like high intensity action going on all over the place. I think the only outlier for me was probably Lucha House Party because I didn't know what they were doing there. But I mean, it was fine because they did like really great stuff, especially that high spot, like gymnastic flip off the top of the cage. Like that was pretty cool. Because you know you're always gonna get some top cage spot that's gonna like wow the crowd, and we kind of got two, like you said, the one from top and then Otis going through the pod onto the floor on the outside. That was pretty cool because I like you said never seen that before. Like we've seen people like speared into the pods but never outside of the cage. So again, that was also like really cool.
And the Tucker,
I don't know
the Tucker somersault was also cool on the outside.
Oh,
I
yeah,
expected to do that.
Yeah, I don't know why Tucker didn't, leave out the cage, or if he was really that concerned about his partner.
Yeah, because then you can't get pinned if you leave, right?
Yeah, right. I was like, this is not a regular cage situation where, or if if your feet hit the floor, you're done. He could have gone back in whenever he wanted, but, or storyline purposes, he could have left and be like, hey, we were never pinned, so how about that title shot? I don't know. See, I feel like that would have been a good spot to go to, too. But I did get nervous in the beginning when they were like all in the ring because I was like, oh, it's a lot of people in one ring. It's gonna be chaotic and messy, but it wound up working out pretty well. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad that Miz and Morrison retained because, as I was telling you, like I felt they just got it, so it'd be kind of weird for them to just lose it that quickly. And if they want to lose it at WrestleMania, I guess that's fine, or keep them retained because they're doing that good like douchey heel team pretty well. And well, we all know Miz is great on the mic anyway, and Morrison, he's pretty up there too. So yeah, so it'd be interesting to see who they put in front of them on Mania. I mean, the crowd is really over for Heavy Machinery, so I don't see why that would not be a good idea. Or they could like, no, I guess they wouldn't have them wrestle twice. Like have Heavy Machinery versus Rude and Ziggler like on the pre-show to face Miz Morrison, but they would probably do that on a SmackDown show or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do them for the number one contendership.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're right. Well, you know me, I love the Usos and I love the New Day. I don't think them winning the title for an 8-4-6 concurrently for them. I don't feel like that's earned for them right now. Maybe after Mania, sure, but right now I don't feel like those two have earned it yet, and that could change the next month. Who knows? But right now, I think Heavy Machinery is the way to go with the way the crowd is so hot behind them right now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, that brings us to the next match. AJ Styles against Aleister Black. I don't even know why they had this match. I forgot what had happened. It was just like, I think they attacked him in the back. The OC kept attacking random people. Aleister Black being one of them because they used to attack Ricochet, and then Ricochet and Aleister Black used to be tag team partners and such. So it was just some non sequitur reason why they had this match. But the good thing about this match is that I texted Delisha prior to this match happening, and I said, here's what I think will happen. And I put like step by step by step by step out. And would you believe it? It pretty much damn near word for word came true, except for the fact that I didn't think someone would show up when they actually did show up. Other than that, like, you could ask Alicia, and I texted my friend Raj. You guys know Raj from the AfterMat Awards show. him the same thing, saying like, boom, 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 this is gonna happen, and it pretty much happened, step by step by step by step by step. But yeah, this is a good match. Pretty much, AJ Styles. It was a no disqualification match. I forgot to mention that. AJ Styles dominated the entire match, pretty much. Once in a while, Aleister Black would get like a second wind or a kind of some momentum, but it'll be shut down right away by either one of the OC members like jumping on the apron and stuff like that, or AJ like reversing it. And AJ worked on Aleister's left leg a lot, just so he couldn't plant and do the Black Mass kick, which is Aleister Black's finisher move. Some great spots with the kendo stick. I think AJ Styles went for the calf crusher, which Aleister Black reversed using the kendo stick, which was pretty cool. On the outside, they had some good moves. The best part was the Meteora that Aleister Black did onto AJ Styles through the table. But you know that wasn't going to last long. His momentum wasn't going to last long because as soon as they got back into the ring and the OC joined him in the ring, they surrounded Aleister Black. And then what I said would happen, it'd go, you'd hear a gong, the lights would go off. So what I said would happen was when the gong hit the second time, the lights would turn on, and the OC would be knocked out, except for AJ Styles, who'd be looking around like what happened, and then he turned into a black mass. He turned and get hit by the Black Mass. That didn't actually completely happen. Instead, The Undertaker showed up, which I didn't expect him to do. I thought he would just do like a one-off at WrestleMania kind of thing, even though he was at Super Showdown and all that. But they've been teasing this at Super Showdown and then Raw that AJ Styles would probably face Undertaker. So Undertaker showed up, had a double chokeslam ready to go on the OC. Now this is the stupid part. AJ Styles jumped on the thing to do this phenomenal forearm, and Undertaker just dropped both the OC members, turned around and caught like AJ Styles and got ready for the chokeslam. Why were the OC out of it after that? All they did was I don't think he hit them. He just put them both in the chokeslam and that was it. Like he didn't do the chokeslam. He just had them ready for it. Did he choke the life out of both of them at the same time? I have no idea. That was kind of dumb. Then the gong hit again. The lights went off. Gong hit again. Lights went on. AJ Styles dumbfounded, turned into a Black Mass. So the only difference is that Undertaker actually showed up. I didn't expect that to happen, but Undertaker showed up. AJ Styles ended up losing because of Aleister Black, which is now leading up to a WrestleMania match between AJ Styles and Undertaker, most likely, if not definitely, which I'm not looking forward to. AJ Styles can do so much better, I think. We all know Undertaker is like the king of WrestleMania. That is his like playground or whatever you want to call it. But he's been having very lackluster matches, and we know he's getting older, but he's having very lackluster matches lately. You know, the Goldberg match, the Roman Reigns match, he didn't look that good at WrestleMania at that time. The Cena match, like it was not good. So AJ Styles is probably one of the best wrestlers in history. He could pull this match like completely on his shoulders, but power moves are going to look bad. Like he can't really I don't think he can ever get Undertaker into a Styles clash. It would just have to be a calf crusher as well as a phenomenal forearm, stuff like that. His athleticism is what's going to make Undertaker look strong. So Undertaker most likely is going to end up winning the match. So it's going to be like him using his athleticism to go, because Undertaker's had a lot of trouble, like putting people like Goldberg into a tombstone as well as a last ride as well as a chokeslam, because Goldberg's not that athletic compared to AJ Styles. So and even Roman Reigns too, like. All those, like, I don't think Undertaker has the same strength he used to, unless he's been working out nonstop since last WrestleMania. It's going to be a lot of AJ Styles doing a lot of the work, in my opinion. He should win. AJ Styles should win, but he's not, because Taker owns WrestleMania, except for, like, the people like Brock and Roman Reigns kind of thing. But, yeah, I think AJ Styles should win. I don't know how it's going to end. It's probably going to be... What they probably want to do is like a phenomenal forearm caught and turned into a tombstone or turned into a chokeslam. Most likely, I could rather see a phenomenal forearm turned into a Hell's Gate, which we haven't seen in a while. That's about it. But your thoughts on this match and possible?
Yeah, it was fine. Again, these two didn't really build up enough for this match to happen. I feel like it was put on the card to showcase the Undertaker part at the end, just so we can set that up, which I guess that's fine. Like I said, we're getting it. We have to start laying these groundworks and planting these seeds for WrestleMania season, because gotta do something for the next 4 weeks. But I mean, all in all, I feel like they did a pretty solid showing. And like I was asking in the chat if people were still on the Aleister Black train. Because I still get hyped every time his theme music plays because it's awesome. But I just feel like he's stuck in the like the middle of the pack right now. Maybe it could be just because it's crowded, but he I was saying in the chat he doesn't really have like a marquee singles match, or at least one that I remember. And once again, this match is one of those that just gonna think about you only remember it for the Undertaker part. Like it's not like a match that like stands on its own. Like, oh yeah, AJ Styles and Aleister Black, that was a great match. Solid, like I said, solid, not like poor or messy or anything like that. But it's just like, okay, we did that so we can get to Taker.
Yeah,
Um,
what I was gonna say to add to what you're saying is you're completely right. These two guys are capable of that marquee match, but they put it to the side or the back burner for the Undertaker spotlight kind of thing. And Entertainment saying him and Ricochet are really talented. I was going to say that Ricochet's been put in the same weight back burner as Aleister Black. I do have to disagree though with I think he's had great matches with Buddy Murphy or just Murphy, whatever you want to call him, in Raw. Those are great matches, and I think they had one on the pay per view as well. But those have been the only marquee matches on the main roster. I want to say.
yeah, that's what I when I said
Yeah.
singles, I meant legit on Raw. Because everything he was doing at NXT were just great. Um, But yeah, as far as Taker and AJ Styles go, it'll probably be fine. Is I never worry about AJ Styles. It's always gonna be it's gonna always gonna be Taker because he's so old. Like guys, I know we love nostalgia, but let this man rest. Like let he definitely he needs to rest in peace. That's what he needs to do. He needs to rest in peace and go ahead and just be with his family down in Texas. And I would be fine if we do not see Taker wrestle ever again, because I understand as the body gets older, you can't do what you used to do, and you can't live in the past. Unless he really wanted to come back to like put someone over, I'm totally fine with that. I feel like that's what veterans should be doing anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I'll just have to see the match and see how it goes, but I'm not particularly excited for it. Like, yes, do I still get like excited to hear that gong go off and hear the crowd just go bananas, but it's time to let it rest, you know.
Yeah,
It's that we gotta move us as fans need to let it go and let our upcoming superstars take the spotlight now.
yeah,
So
and
I thought
Tom.
that's what we were doing with Black anyway, was making him the more not. I mean, nothing again will ever be Taker. Like he's made that his own thing, but that like mysterious dark figure, playing in that same ballpark, not exactly being that mystical figure, but just playing in that ballpark. Let Aleister Black take that, and we don't have to give him a WrestleMania undefeated streak, but you know, you keep building up these stars to do what? Like there has to be a long game here.
When you're talking about mystical figures and stuff like that, I think before even Aleister Black, two people should have the reigns before him. One of which did, but they kind of ruined him. Is the Fiend for one?
Yeah,
They kind of ruined him, but also Finn Balor. Finn Balor as the Demon Finn Balor was great. Everyone loved him. He was Universal Champion, the first ever Universal Champion until injury unfortunately took that away from him. Um, he had that chance as well. I don't think Aleister Black.
yeah. Like I said, they keep building up these stars to let them fizzle out. That's what I'm saying. We need to stop with the nostalgia, or it doesn't have to stop. It's just that you got to move on. You got to move on. That's life, people. I know there's a lot more medical things we can do now that people can last as longer than they used to back in the day, but you know there comes a time when the younger generation has to take over.
And
No, that wasn't an NXT pun, I swear.
and what does this say about the time that Undertaker lost to Roman Reigns and put the gloves in the middle of the ring? Remember that?
It's
That
perfect. Perfection.
what does it say now that he's gonna keep coming back now? Like that was supposed to be like his retirement, right? That was it. Like I give up WrestleMania, now it's over. But then I think he fought Cena after that, right? But that was like a non-sanctioned match or whatever it was. And then now he's gonna fight
Yeah.
AJ Styles. The one person I would have loved to see him come back out of retirement to fight. I mean, I know he's not retired, but you know what I mean. Out of WrestleMania retirement to fight would be Sting, and that's it because the embodiment of what Undertaker is to WrestleMania and WWE/WWF is what Sting was for WCW, NWA kind of thing, and then finally TNA later on. But mostly WCW. Like WCW Sting is what WWF Undertaker was. They are like that parallel path. And after Undertaker lost to Roman Reigns, they put those things in the ring. A cool promo would have been like crows eating at the gloves, and then you see Boots come in and like Sting picks up the gloves, kind of thing, and like that would be an awesome promo to have. And then, but unfortunately, they did the whole Cena thing, and then they did the Goldberg thing, and now they're gonna do AJ Styles. They should have done it the way I just said it. I know Sting had the injury, but you know what? So did Daniel Bryan, so did Edge, and these guys are coming back, kind of thing, So you never know, and there's hope for Paige in the future as well, but you never know. And I think that one promo would have been like crazy to have Sting just pick up those gloves after the crows were pecking at it, and have that match at WrestleMania, and boom, that's it. Because the one match Sting had at WrestleMania, he lost to Triple H, which is so dumb, because of the WWE ego and Vince and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that would be a cool last match for Taker to have at WrestleMania. If he didn't fight Cena and now AJ and the whole Goldberg thing, all that was terrible. But yeah, we've been on this match for forever, mostly on Taker, not even on this match.
I know.
So let's go to the next match. Features, oh my god, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, against Seth Rollins and Murphy.
Yeah, so I watched this match. I know I saw it. Watch highlights. Still can't tell you nothing about it because it was that. I don't want to say generic, but like if you had this on Raw, I wouldn't have been fazed. I love the Street Profits. They're one of my favorites characters, tag teams on the roster right now. Like I really need them to do a segment with the New Day at some point in their career. Like please God, let that happen because that's gonna be amazing. But I think my issue is I don't care about Seth Rollins and I don't care about Murphy as a tag team component. I think I'm off the Seth Rollins train, or at least I'm about to pull the cord to let me off because can't I can't quite put my finger on it, but I'm not invested, and I don't know why. Maybe I could do some soul searching to figure that out. But like this match was fine. Like I said, it could have lived on Raw and would have been fine for that as a main event of Raw. Of course, you had Montez Ford doing his athletic capabilities, like his big frog splashes, and diving over the ropes or through the ropes to um, do the high flying while I don't know. See, this is now it's Monday because I forgot his name.
Montez Ford and
No,
Angelo Dawkins.
thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Angelo. I'm so sorry. But even him being like the strong man, the biggie, so if you will, if you want to go that route, to their team. To really the only things that are of note is when the AOP tried to get involved with to interfere with the match to win the titles. The Viking Raiders came out to help out their buddies, or I guess allies, in this match to make it a little bit more fair and even. And then we we had KO coming out to distract Rollins on the outside apron, where he was eating popcorn on the ring announce table. I mean, it was fun to where you didn't get Angela Dawkins. I guess that's a tackle, or is that what
Shoulder
you call
block.
that?
It's like a running shoulder block.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Into the ring barricade, which I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't want to say cool. Is like that's always kind of like ooh, that's a hit type of move to see. And then I believe they went on a frog splash onto Buddy Murphy. Um, and then after that, as he's yelling at Murphy for I guess being the cause of them losing the match, we get our Rollins. I mean, KO hitting Rollins with a stunner. So we're getting that probably at WrestleMania. Them two going at it I guess to end the feud, maybe I don't know. But this match was like so generic that I wasn't really invested. I was probably texting you or on Twitter at that point. I yeah, this Rollins thing isn't working for me. So I think that's why it's probably so lackluster is because I'm not on the Monday Night Messiah train. But I'm all for Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins though. So I'm hoping that for them, I'm hoping we get another tag team for them to face at WrestleMania, maybe the Viking Raiders, because that could be a pretty good fun match to watch. But did you like this match?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, like I said, I didn't really have much time invested into this match either. We did have forget to mention the AOP did come out with them, but they were distracted by the Viking Raiders who came out and took
I
them out.
mentioned it.
Oh, you did? Sorry, that's
Yeah.
I was probably talking to the chat at that point. Um,
See, you've already forgotten because this
yeah,
match was so lackluster.
yeah. So I think this match of WrestleMania between Raw, cause this once again this was like it's just like the rematch clause kind of thing. More of it setting up KO for against Rollins at WrestleMania kind of thing. Um, I think it's kind of a lot of frog splashes because KO does a frog splash, Seth Rollins does a frog splash, Montez does the frog splash. Um, Maybe RVD will come out and do a frog splash. Sasha Banks will do her awful frog splash. But yeah, this more like you said, like about the AJ Styles kind of thing was more about Taker. This was more about Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and just putting Street Profits over. Who will they face? I don't know. I don't know. Viking Raiders is an idea. I don't think AOP deserves it, but maybe they'll get the shot because you want to heal against a face kind of thing. I don't see them losing at WrestleMania because they just got it, like you said, and mostly and Miz and Morrison got it, but I think Miz and Morrison are established enough that they don't have to lose, and they can afford to lose at WrestleMania. Miz and Morrison, the Street Profits on the other hand, I don't think can afford to lose at WrestleMania. I think it would be their WrestleMania moment if they win. Who will they face? I don't know. It's probably gonna be a heel face thing, and it's gonna be maybe AOP.
Yeah. Although I like I said, I wouldn't mind the face and face of Viking Raiders and
Yeah.
because you know you're gonna get a good match. And sometimes for me, uh, that can overtake uh a storyline for me. Is like just doing a pretty good match because we have storylines galore going on at WrestleMania probably. So having one match that is strictly just team versus team, we're going for these titles. That the crowds can still get behind either or going for it. I think that could be fun, maybe a little different. But I don't know. We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it a three-way match for the tag team titles
You're right.
because that way they'll put Murphy in with accompanying Seth Rollins against the Kevin Owens match. In the Kevin Owens match, maybe Kevin Owens will bring somebody out like Stone Cold or something, because Stone Cold is supposed to be on Raw next week, right? So maybe maybe they'll bring out Stone Cold with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Who knows? Something can happen, but I think Murphy will definitely be in Rollins' corner at WrestleMania. All right, that brings us to the next match for the Intercontinental Championship, featuring the Intercontinental Champion Braun Strowman in a 3-on-1 handicap match. Whoever gets the pin is either retains the Intercontinental title or wins the Intercontinental title, and he faced off against Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has mostly been a mouthpiece for Shinsuke for the last few months. Cesaro's just been thrown in as the powerhouse, I guess, for this group. It was most Sami Zayn was talking a big game, saying, "I'm going to start out the match. I'll take care of Braun. You guys stay on the outside. I'll take care of everything. I'll win the title for us. It'll come back where it belongs." Well, he did start the match, and as soon as the match started, he went and tagged Shinsuke Nakamura. Basically, that's what happened the entire match. Shinsuke and Cesaro worked over Braun Strowman. Anytime Braun Strowman was kind of down a little bit, Sami Zayn would try to get into the match, and he'd be completely ineffective against Braun Strowman. Tag back out of the match, stuff like that. So it was back and forth. Once in a while, Cesaro and them would get and Shinsuke would get one up on Braun Strowman, be it by a ring post or a hit from the outside. Eventually, I think Shinsuke hit the Kinshasa, and then they did the thing where I think they did this on the contract signing, but they said they did it into a table contract signing where Cesaro and Shinsuke did a suplex, and as Braun Strowman was up in the suplex, Sami Zayn did the Haluva kick, whatever you want to call it, and hit Braun Strowman, got the pin 1, 2, 3, and now Sami Zayn is your new Intercontinental Champion, which is great because I'm not really a Braun Strowman fan. I do like Shinsuke Nakamura. I didn't mind Sami Zayn as the mouthpiece, but why not have Sami Zayn finally get his day in the sun, right? It's gonna be really cool to see where he goes. Maybe he'll fight Shinsuke. Something will happen eventually where you know what? Like I don't really want him to fight Shinsuke or Braun. I'd kind of rather see him fight Elias maybe at WrestleMania. That would be a good match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, and maybe Elias will finally win. But what are, like all these people who are just winning the titles now? Can they afford to lose at WrestleMania? I said, yeah, Mrs. Morrison can. Sami Zayn could, but he's been out of commission for the longest time, right? Like I know he's been there, but he's kind of been like a sidekick. I think the last time I seen him wrestle really was at the Royal Rumble that we went to, that was in Philly, where it was him and Kevin Owens against AJ Styles for the 2-on-1 for the championship. That's the last time I really seen Sami Zayn in like a legitimate match. Um, Otherwise, he's just been a mouthpiece or injured. So I don't mind seeing him hold through WrestleMania, but a cool match would be him against Elias. I think him and Elias would be a good match. I could see Nakamura finally turning face again and fighting him, Sami Zayn after a week, like a whole month, saying like, Sami Zayn just talking a lot of crap, saying like I'm the best, I'm the reason why we have the championship, and Shinsuke will finally get like fed up. But Shinsuke kind of needs a mouthpiece, so I don't know how that can go. Maybe Cesaro can be his mouthpiece. I don't know. But Sami Zayn, I don't know if Sheamus is a face. I don't know what brand he's on. Maybe Sheamus can fight him. But if anything, I think Sheamus on SmackDown, and these guys are Raw guys. I guess I don't know. No, actually, no, they're SmackDown as well. I'm pretty sure this. Who knows? I don't know what title. Like they should put like. They should just make the strap that color, kind of like how the Raw and SmackDown are red and blue, and how like, the women's if you do the women's championship, it's black or white. It's white with the red and blue in the interior, something like that to distinguish. Because I completely forget what things, and probably have the superstar shakeup coming soon anyway. But I can see Elias facing him or Shinsuke facing him at WrestleMania. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Braun. Sorry to tell you that.
Ugh.
Probably gonna be. If they don't finish that up within the next couple weeks, it's probably gonna be Braun. But who knows? We could get something fun going on. It's actually pretty funny. Like my friend who was over, he was saying that if this match lasts longer than 2 minutes, then Sami Zayn better win. And then lo and behold, that's what happened. So that was pretty fun to see his reaction to that, which is great. And yeah, Sami needs something to do other than be on the sidelines because as far as I can read or tell, he's not. It's not like he's injured or anything like that. It's just they just didn't have anything for him to do. So now he has something to do. So I'm hoping that this will breathe some more life into Sami Zayn, the wrestler, and not just Sami Zayn, the character. Because he could really have some fun with this and really give himself a push. And plus, now he has Cesaro and Shinsuke in his corner, so could be Cesaro turning on him anyway. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Elias and Sami will be fun. But until we get this Braun storyline wrapped up, it probably could go into WrestleMania or just before, just to get something new. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes.
I could see this match, this rival going through Raws or Smack, whatever. I don't forgot. Sorry, whatever they're on, going on their respective shows on until like a week or two before WrestleMania, where Braun is getting beaten down really, really badly by like chairs and sledgehammer, whatever you want to call it, any weapons that'll take him out, and then Elias comes to save him because they kind of had a thing, right? The tag team or whatever they were for the last month or so. Elias coming to save him, and that's what leads to the match of at WrestleMania. That's what I can see happening. We'll see if it happens. But yeah, I'm glad Sami Zayn's champion. We'll see the WrestleMania match. I'm betting on Elias maybe, but if it's Braun, I'm probably gonna be why. Because then you know what happens is like WrestleMania matches are always repeated again on the next pay-per-view or the next Raw. So why are we gonna repeat it 3 pay-per-views in a row, kind of thing? Who knows? But that's what I see happening. The next match is, I guess, the final match, right? Which is your number 1 contendership match for the Raw Women's Championship to face the man, Becky Lynch, at WrestleMania, which featured Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Liv Morgan, Natalya, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan.
So I thought I had my notes app ready to go, thinking, oh, okay, I have to keep track of like who's eliminating who and like who are the first and all these things. But it turned out I didn't need this notes app at all. Because while we did start with Ruby Riot and Natalia, um, then they went for a bit, and then after that, I believe it was Sarah Logan. Um, Once Shayna Baszler came out as fourth, it was pretty much game over. Because I believe in this order, I believe it was Riot, Sarah Logan, Riot, and then Liv Morgan,
No,
all
Natalia.
being okay, Logan, Riot, Natalia, all being tapped out, and then uh poor Liv Morgan being ragged out and onto the and through the pods to get her out, and in what seemed like 30 seconds, although it was, I guess, the 4 minutes or whatever for each. It was just it strange. I don't know. I mean, maybe not strange because I know what they were trying to do until we got that face off between Asuka and um Baszler, which I knew for well, one, by looking at the time, and two, these two were probably going to go just for a little bit, and it was fine. It was mildly competitive, not a barn burner, as they would say. They weren't going for 8, 10, 15 minutes. It and then it all kind of went south when she got in her I, I don't, it's not the good clean and clutch, but just her ring chokehold submission move, and I think Asuka passed out, right? Not tapped out.
Yeah, so did Liv Morgan, both of them. Kurufita clutch or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, Liv Morgan was choked from the top rope to and just was just out again after being beaten like a rag doll. So I mean, it was fine. For a main event, probably not the best. But again, and because this is where you have like again storyline versus execution, to where I know what they were trying to do because Baszler is so dominant one on NXT. They wanted to I'm glad they wanted to keep that showcase here, but in the meantime you kind of just threw everyone else to the wayside, um because I feel like her and Oscar could have really gone a little bit longer to really keep them both looking strong, and even if you still wanted to do the Oscar pass out tap out type of thing, that's still fine with me because I do think Becky versus Baszler is the more marquee match at the moment. But yeah, it again. I get what they were trying to do, but I feel like the execution wasn't quite executed. I don't know. You feel the same way, or
Yeah,
am I?
I was texting you this saying like I understand they want to make Shayna Baszler look strong, which they did. They did a great thing. I think she's the first person ever to eliminate every single other person in the Elimination Chamber
Oh
match.
crap! I just realized that.
So she's the first person ever to do that, which is great. It made her look strong. However, like you just said, and I texted you this last night, why make that the main event? Like that's I understand it's International Women's Day and all that, and like I don't know, this was not main event caliber. The names in there could be main event caliber, right? But the way that, like you said, the way that it was played out was not main event. And to add to that, I've heard reports that people left during the match because they knew what was going to happen. They saw as soon as I think the first three people got knocked out or whatever, like you were saying, Logan, Riot, and Natalia. They're like, oh, this is gonna be like a clean sweep for her. There's no point in staying, and they left to beat the traffic because they knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, execution was not done well. Another reason why is because like the whole thing, how much payoff we're looking for. Like, I guess it kind of made it a lot. It reflected in the men's match as well, where Otis and Ziggler didn't really get their hands on each. Otis didn't really get his hands on Ziggler. It did pay out though, where like Otis went for Ziggler. He did catch Ziggler and then slam him, and then he went for the spear, but he went to the outside. So that was actually implemented. But how long have we been waiting for Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan to go at it? That didn't even happen, right? It was more like Liv Morgan taunting Ruby Riott while she's getting beaten up and stuff by Logan and all that. Didn't really happen. So, like you said, execution wasn't good. Great job making Shayna Baszler look strong. If that was going to happen, make this switch this with a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, the other Elimination Chamber match. But maybe because, like I said, the International Women's Day when they want to have the women main event. Not saying that they don't deserve to, but if that's how you're going to write it, don't make that the main event, especially because you saw the audience left, or reports that the audience left, right? And it was, I thought maybe give Asuka a little bit more. Like you said, he thought it would go a little longer. I was saying they should have had her point to the sign and Basil look at it, and then when she turns around, she gets misted in the eyes. That would have been great to make Basil, to give the audience a chance that, like, oh, Basil might lose. But, because Basil usually wrestles with that, or she comes out with that, what do you call it? The towel. Yeah, so she could have just wiped it off, right? She could have wiped it off and then fought and finished off Asuka. Like, all those things that they could have thought of, like, they should call me or something first before, like, oh, here's how we're going to do the ending, and then I'll tell them how to really do it, kind of thing. But, yeah, like, if it speaks to the testament that people left, reports that people left during the match because of what happened. And the way that the men's match went, but, it's for the SmackDown Tag Team title as opposed to the number one contender at WrestleMania, which is your biggest, for the flagship show, right? The flagship show being Raw, and Becky being the hottest woman star at the moment. Not counting, like, Rhea Ripley, I guess. But it on the main roster, right? That's what happens. Like, I'm ready to go into what I was saying. Like, I want to tell you what I think for the next... I have it laid out till next WrestleMania.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we don't know who Bayley's facing, right? Yeah. We're going to have that play over the next few weeks. Maybe she fights Sasha, right? Her and Sasha break up. I don't know what's going on because, I don't watch SmackDown. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's in the background. Or Alexa Bliss. Who knows? Whoever it is, or Nikki Cross, whatever it is, maybe Sasha. Sasha beats Bayley at WrestleMania. Shayna beats Becky at WrestleMania. Through that time till Survivor Series, we had the return of Ronda Rousey. Those other two girls, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, get called up. That way, at Survivor Series, we have one champion. It's usually champion versus champion. We could have the team, the Four Horsewomen against the Four Horsewomen, represented by Sasha Banks as the SmackDown Women's Champion. Somehow she reconciles with Bayley. Hopefully Charlotte does not beat Rhea Ripley, and then Becky joins that team to go against the women that are led by Shayna Baszler. Not Ronda Rousey, but led by Shayna Baszler, who's the Raw Women's Champion. And she also has Shayna Baszler, and she also has Ronda Rousey and the two others, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir. I don't know who you want to have win that match, because that's crazy. Maybe have Ronda Rousey. I guess they'll probably have Ronda and Shayna win, because the other horsemen can afford to lose, right? They can afford to lose. Carry that all, that feud for a while and stuff like that. Eventually, Ronda and Shayna are going to get at it after a while, come Royal Rumble and such, maybe. And then at WrestleMania next year, WrestleMania 30, whatever it is, in Hollywood, I think it is. Mm-hmm. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey at that WrestleMania. That's how I played out for that. These, at least for Shayna Baszler, that's how I see it going for her. From now until the major points would be like the return of Rousey could happen at SummerSlam, because you want to always have the big pay-per-views at SummerSlam. Then they team up for the Survivor Series. Then they have some falling out at Royal Rumble. They end up fighting at but Ronda Rousey probably would have to win the Elimination Chamber match, maybe against the other horsewomen like Becky, Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte will be in it, as well as one more person, and Ronda Rousey can end up winning that and facing Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania. Now, if this happens, this is my one bite thing for Undertaker thing. If this happens, Raj owes me $1,000. I told him $100 for the thing about AJ Styles and Undertaker, but that. So, what do you think? We talk about this match. Now let's talk about how it's going to carry over, because we don't have anything to talk about from now until WrestleMania. What do you think about these pieces? Not just what I'm saying about Shayna Baszler, but Liv Morgan, Natalya, all these other people, Asuka, because we have to have those people wrestle for the women's tag team championships as well.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know, because, well, like I said, it was going to come down to Asuka or Baszler. You knew that was happening. If they didn't, that would have been the big shocker of the night. But like I was saying before, Baszler and Becky is the bigger marquee match, just because people have been wanting it for a while, because those two are the two, I guess, baddest women in WWE right now. People just love them. Like Shayna for her dominance and Becky for her mic work. Um, but yeah, so I, to be honest, I don't even know who I would want to win between them because I love them both so much. But I do think Baszler uh getting the rub and going over in the WrestleMania match would be great. Also a great marquee for her in her career. She's totally deserving of main roster. I mean, I guess can we still call it main roster now because they're all three on live television? But um, to be on the still the bigger stage of Raw, so I think she's totally deserving of that. And because Rhea's holding it down in NXT pretty good on her own, so I feel like Baszler isn't like missed on NXT, so I think that in terms it's time for her to move to graduate, so to speak. Yeah, I think people are still kind of like pumped for that Horsewoman um matchup of some sort, whether it will be a Survivor Series or just somewhere within this WrestleMania and next WrestleMania. I think people are still hungry for that, even with Ronda and to a larger extent Jessamine and Marina not being on TV for a while either. So, but I think people are still be hungry for that just because Shayna has done so much and people still like Ronda. So they would still be excited to see them to share in the ring versus the other women. Um, hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Just because I know, like literally, if you put that you really have to build up the MMA for Horsewomen because right now their only two stars, so to speak, is Shayna, is Ronda, who even though she's controversial, is still kind of half and half. And like I've been saying every time we mention it, the other two they are just not up to par. So literally, like right now, I wouldn't be excited personally because I just be like, in reality, Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, and Sasha should run roughshod over them like quickly
Right,
if
but you
they
need
if you had to do the 4-on-4. Like I said, in a realistically on paper, them in the ring, those four versus those four, the so quote unquote like wrestling original four horsemen should kick their ass.
right, but that will make Shayna and Ronda look stronger because they've been able to destroy like the rest of these horsewomen kind of thing. That way, if they
Yeah,
those
I
two
mean,
get eliminated, because you saw Rhea Ripley defeat like all of Team Raw and SmackDown, right? Because like
yeah,
the I think it was like Candice LeRae and whoever it was, Dakota Kai, Tegan, whoever it was, got like thrown out in the beginning of the match. So it was basically Rhea Ripley like doing it all. So you could see Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke just get knocked out right in the way. That's
that's
happened
true.
before,
But I
and
was
show
just
how
saying,
strong Shayna and Ronda Rousey are compared because they're real. You know, I mean, as we
yeah, I
realize,
was just
like,
saying I don't get excited for them, so to speak, because the other two are just so lackluster. But again, they could rebuild them and work that out in a fairly quick amount of time. But we just
we
haven't
have until
seen it.
Survivor
I mean,
Series, so
hmm?
we have until Survivor Series. That's like nine
That's what
months
I'm saying.
away.
That's what I'm saying. I
8
just
months
haven't
away.
seen it. So once I like can see it and see what they are actually capable of doing, I could turn on the quickness. I'm not counting them out 100%. But yeah, I mean, I would still be for it. It's just all on that writing because you can't just again. I don't want it to be all on Shane and Ronda. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be left on pretty much at this point, kind of Bailey and Sasha because those two have the better mic work. So I guess maybe it is more even than I thought it is. Anyway, but I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. Just it still would be cool to see because there are I guess 8 monumental women on television. Period. So it's still a intriguing concept. Or maybe I just don't trust them to do it well. I don't know.
And don't forget,
But
we could by next year's WrestleMania. We haven't got to this year's WrestleMania, but I know I'm writing ahead. But you know, by that time, Rhea Ripley could be called up. So we don't even know. Welcome Sidewalk as well. Rhea Ripley could be called up by next year's WrestleMania as well, and they could have Rhea Ripley versus Ronda Rousey for the match of whoever could be the double R's in WWE. They throw in Double J Jeff Jarrett and get all the doubles alliteration matches going off all in one. But yeah, um,
see, you give Cal Ninja, he takes 5 miles.
no, but yeah. So the only thing that could throw a wrench into my 1 year plan that I'm talking about is Rhea Ripley getting called up or Bianca Belair. Hey, she's got BB as well, so Bianca Belair getting thrown in as well. Like all these people, being called up, because NXT is always a wild card. And the other thing that could throw a wrench into my Survivor Series thing is now that they're doing it Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, right? It's a 3-way now. So there's that. I don't know.
Or you get it started at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
That way you can get that one-on-one of, if we're gonna do Baszler and Sasha, you could start planning some things there.
Sidebook says they'll lose part of their names, a la Mustafa Ali, who got Mustafa back, and now Buddy Murphy's just Murphy. But you gotta have the alliteration side. That's why they had those names, you know. So any more thoughts on this final match?
I mean, like, ended the way we expected. Just execution. Once again, WWE is great with these concepts, but not putting them through in story. So it is what it is. It's just Chamber. We're gearing up for WrestleMania season, which is like a really good time for us. Maybe not during the day when we're watching 18,000 hours of wrestling, because don't forget we still got Takeover on that Friday. But yeah, it's still an exciting time because you're like, ooh, what are we gearing up to for Tampa? But even with all of our grapes that we have, I still get excited for WrestleMania.
And just to put into perspective, imagine Brock going the distance in Royal Rumble, which would have been a bigger feat, right? A bigger feat to do, having Brock going the distance, number one, and just eliminating every single person to 30. That's kind of like what we saw, but even though there's only 5 other people in Elimination Chamber. But you saw how big of a deal that set up for like Drew McIntyre, because that sold a storyline, right? With Ricochet getting some revenge, and then Drew McIntyre eliminating him. Now we're having that match at WrestleMania. So it's kind of a different story. That was well executed and was the main event, right? As opposed to this being the main event and not as well executed. All right.
Yeah, I mean, well, now, we're going too long. Yeah, because like they still did do Shayna almost the same way she lasted. I mean, she did come midway through, but lasted almost to the end. But she was as dominant as she was on there too. So yeah.
Yep, she did eliminate everyone else. So, like I said, I think it might be the first time in history that the one person has eliminated the rest of the 5. Still not the best moment in Elimination Chamber history, in my opinion. But that would probably go to Edge cashing in. I think it was the first ever cashing in the Money in the Bank. That was glorious. That was great. I can't believe that happened. That was awesome. Because Cena, I think went.
Yeah. I was like, was it on Taker or was it on Cena? But
no, Cena went bell to bell. I think he had to go in number 1, and he ended up winning. And everyone's so upset. And then all of a sudden, Vince McMahon comes out, because that was the first time they ever had a cash in, I think. So he's like, "Oh, great job, Cena. I have to applaud you, but your night's not over yet." And then Edge comes out. Edge's music hits. He gives a briefcase to Vince McMahon. And so that was great Elimination Chamber moments.
I was about to say, in preparing for Edge coming back, I might go watch that after the stream.
Oh yeah, it's tonight, right? Yeah, so yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing after this. But yeah, so with that said, let's go to our. Oops, I went the wrong way. To our finishers. Start with Felicia, your low point, your high point, and your overall grade.
The low point, I think I'm gonna give it to both. Aleister Black AJ and then the Raw Tag Team match, because it felt like a Raw match on a pay-per-view, and I just feel like on pay-per-view, especially on a bigger scale like Elimination Chamber, we ain't got time for that. We want good matches to get us excited for it, and not when I could just tune in to Raw on the network. I mean, not on TV, and see the same match play out. High point, I think I'm gonna give it to. I think I might actually give it to the men's Elimination Chamber. The namesake Elimination Chamber. One of these had to do it well, hopefully. But yeah, we got, like I said, we got a lot of storyline playing out throughout the match, and I do think the right people won. And it was all around just entertaining, even when at one point I thought we had too many guys in the ring, but they still played it off well, which we know is not always the case. But yeah, and then overall, I think I'm gonna give it a solid C plus B minus ish, because while we had some good things going on, it wasn't flawless. There was still some, like you said, lackluster or non-engaging matches that kind of fell through for me. So I think a solid C plus B minus, a passing grade still for the pay-per-view on our way to WrestleMania.
Yeah, Sidewalk says pretty much concurs with you. Low point is the women's Elimination Chamber, high point men's, and he gave it a C minus. And you're not gonna hear any different from me because for me the low point was the women's Elimination Chamber, the high point was the men's Elimination Chamber, and grade I'll probably give it a C minus because like I said I went to this card not expecting anything. I didn't really get anything besides the men's Elimination Chamber, the Andrade match, but we've seen that a lot already, right? But the one surprisingly good match was the Drew Gulak and whoever else he fought that night. I probably would have given it a higher grade had Daniel Bryan got injured from the high suplex, but he didn't.
They're gonna get us canceled.
Hey, at least we'll get recognition. Then they'll probably steal my storyline ideas because I've had some great storyline ideas today. Yeah, this episode of AfterMat was already better than the Elimination Chamber itself, especially with the ideas I threw out. If you haven't caught the Sting promo, or I said about the Sting promo, go back to that. I mentioned it during the Undertaker spot for the AJ Styles Aleister Black match.
Put your grades for the AfterMat in the chat.
But yeah. Yes, I would have to say, yeah, C minus as well, I agree. Yeah, so with that said, now, where can we see you? Where can we find you, Delisha? Where can we see you next?
You could probably see me on Instagram, but you can always follow me on both Instagram and Twitter at Delisha Renee, where I've been lately talking a lot of schmoy on stuff. But I'm always tweeting out wrestling when I'm watching it live. And it's always fun to chat with people who reply to me, which isn't always that often. So thank you, Sidewalk, for the chat last night. That was fun. But yeah, come follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to engage.
And if you're wondering why I don't respond to her on Twitter, I'm texting her. And we're talking about it live as in texting usually. So it's not like
I live tweet the pay-per-views.
No, I know, but I like if people are wondering why I don't reply to your tweet.
Oh, yeah,
so what we're saying there is I'm texting you like between us and texting.
I'm gonna hack into your account and then tweet from the Kingslaying.
Yeah, and where can they see you next though?
You will find us back here on March 23rd for a little after talk, which is our sister channel where we can talk a little bit more in depth about different wrestling topics instead of just recapping the match. We'll talk a little bit more about topic at hand, and this time we'll be talking about the people of color in WWE, or aptly named color commentary. Get it? On just how WWE has showcased them throughout the years, and if so or if not, they're doing a better job of it lately. Me and Nicole, and of course Cal in the background, will be talking about that. So come join us. Think of some of your favorite wrestlers who have, come through, or may still be there. Maybe they're mainly current because they're being showcased more. But yeah, we're just going to talk about how they've been handled in the past and how they've been handled now, and maybe how they can either do a better job of it in the future, or if they're good where they're at. So follow us there. Look forward for the link from Kingslayer Network in the coming weeks. So yeah, I hope you guys show up for that as well. It'll be fun.
Yep. And as for us here at AfterMat, the next time you will see us is the final episode of the season, I guess, if you want to call it, for WrestleMania, which is on April 5th. You'll see us the next night over on April 6th, probably starting at a special time at 7 p.m. Eastern, most likely, as long as we can all make it, because it's probably going to be a 5 to 6 hour show, and there's going to be a lot to cover, and I usually have a bedtime because I have school the next day.
We actually started our stream now to be ready for it'll be
right?
done.
Immediately following this is going to be WrestleMania. Actually, immediately following After Talk will be WrestleMania. No, but maybe we'll start at 6 even, 6:30. Who knows? We'll figure it out what time we can make it, because WrestleMania is usually a chock-full packed show. And then, tentatively speaking, 3 weeks after the WrestleMania Aftermat, we'll have our special, Season 3 special, the Aftermat Award special, where we'll give our awards spanning Money in the Bank till WrestleMania 36, including matches, including Best Match, Best Moment, Male and Female Superstar of the Year, adding some new categories thanks to Entertain, who suggested pay-per-view of the year, which we never thought of, but thank you to Entertain for suggesting that. And then Delisha also wanting to showcase some of the NXT superstars, so I'm going to call that award the Next Gen, but I'll have NXT capitalized with E lowercase. Next Gen superstar, probably do male and female for that.
Kind of have to now. Like I said, they're on cable television, so
they're
fair game now.
Those are some 3 new awards we'll be having.
You've
in
unlocked
there.
those characters.
And I think we'll have a few special guests for that as well, coming back for one of our special awards. We'll have some other people you've seen already, as well as a new face as well. But with that said, this has been Elimination Chamber 2020. The next time you'll see us is WrestleMania 36 on AfterMat. But don't forget to catch After Talk in 2 weeks to talk about People of Color and Color Commentary episode, the season premiere of Season 2 of After Talk. Until then, guys, keep slamming the hitters and be the champion of your dreams. See you next time.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on